Hi, everybody. I'm DJ Sixsmith. What's going on? Elizabeth Mitchell is hanging out with us. She's got a lot of great stuff going on right now. Elizabeth, nice to meet you. How are you?
Great. Thank you for asking. I'm happy to be here.
Awesome. So why don't we first start out with Outer Banks, because this is a huge show on Netflix. It
Oh,
has really caught the attention of a lot of people. You hop
okay.
on here. What was that experience like for you?
It was extraordinary too. I mean, I I seem to hop on to really great shows after they've become great. So I do feel a little bit like that person who's like, oh yeah, I'm part of this. But the joy of that is that they have their voice, and then I just get to come in and play, and the weight of it is not on my shoulders. So it's a position I love to be in. I love joining wonderful things.
That's a great mentality.
And
You already know something's going to
yeah.
work, and then you hop in and it's still working, whether it's
And it's
PR,
still working,
Lost, whatever it is.
and I genuinely can't really mess it up because I'm not the thing making it great in the first place. And that is a position for me as an actor that I could do again and again and again. Only because it's like a no stress time. Then I get to come in and do weird, odd stuff, and people are like, oh, either cool or terrible, but it doesn't really matter because I'm not going to affect the show's health.
Well, what intrigued you the most about this part that you're playing in Outer Banks?
Outer Banks, I think this one was just because it scared me. I found her to be not a great human, and I liked that. I liked the idea of playing someone that I didn't understand, maybe was a little bit afraid of. I grew up with some women like her, and as a child, I got to see it for what it was because people let their guards down around children. So I would see women behave one way, let's say in church, to everyone that was there, and then I would, by mere virtue of being a child, get to see who they really were behind the curtain because of the cattiness and the way that they were, the entitlement, all of that. So I found them to be really scary as a child. So to get to play one was interesting to me. You get a little bit of curiosity, you have a little bit of maybe compassion, but I think more curiosity as to the why of it. What makes us behave that way? What makes us become people who put ourselves before other people
That's the
exclusively?
beauty of exploring different characters, right? In different
Yeah.
genres. I know you
Yeah.
have the movie Witch Hunt that's coming out too, which seems pretty interesting. So why don't we chat about that? What was the draw to
Let's
get
do it.
involved with that project?
Well, that one was really fun. That one I got to play a hero, and I love my heroes. I have played a couple of them, and every single time it's really such a joy for me because just like a lot of people in the world, I love the thought that I am a good guy and really a hero at heart. And I think that that's what Witch Hunt is this woman, Martha, is one of those heroes, one of those people who does the right thing when no one is looking, one of those people who consistently makes morally right choices is really what it is. And I find her to be such a hero in my mind. And I find in history people who have gone against the flow of things and been on what we say is the right side of history always fascinate me. So it was fun to play one, even in a fantasy world that feels real.
That's awesome, man. This kind of speaks to your career where you've done all these different roles. It has spanned broadcast TV, streaming, movies, whatever. What have been some of the keys for you when you think about just sustaining your career in Hollywood all these years?
Oh gosh, I don't think I give a whole lot to sustaining it, just like I didn't really give a whole lot to building a career. Do you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
I think that's not really my forte. It's such a good question because honestly, I should be thinking that way, but I think I just do what I love and I keep doing what I love and I keep choosing things that scare me and I keep trying to be better and bigger than what I am. Does that make any sense? I
Yeah.
always feel like things that are comfortable don't necessarily help us grow as people. And I'm all for the growth, even if it's uncomfortable. So I think I don't give a whole lot of thought to what's going to land well or build a career or create a sustainable career, although I should. I think that I really just choose what I love, go with people who fascinate me, try to choose people that I know I'm going to be interested in their point of view in the world, like all of those things. Only because I lead such a quiet life and I'm in this amazing position where I kind of get to do that a little bit.
So to that end, what scared you the most about Lost when you first jumped into that one?
Oh gosh, Lost was terrifying because it was such a big show. When I got the audition, I was like, please, I'm not gonna go do that. I'm not gonna audition for that. It's ridiculous. Nobody's gonna get on Lost. But luckily I had just had a baby and I had been doing some work on my house and I had just fallen off the ladder and like broken my foot, broken my wrist. And I was in no way, shape, or form ready to take on nerves. So I just got to go in and do it. So I think Lost was a little different because I really did have an understanding for Juliet from the minute I read her. She made sense to me, and so did Martha in Witch Hunt. It's not always the case. I have to work on a lot of these guys and really think about it. But Juliet, I had an idea. It was weird and odd, but I had an idea, and I went in there with that idea, exhausted, hurt, tired, and it seemed to do the trick. So maybe that's the key.
The other thing is that your character had such a runway to explore different emotions too. It seemed like it was going one way and it was an entirely different thing below the surface. That must have been fascinating to play with throughout the series.
Oh my gosh, what a great insight into her. Yeah, that's the joy of Lost, isn't it? Is that it was entertaining, but it was an actor's dream piece. And that for our episodes, for the character-based episodes, when we get to be the protagonist of the entire story, you get to really go in there and really figure out what makes these characters tick. And it is an actor's dream. It was, I feel like Damon maybe has no idea what he created for us that way, but it was a gift.
No question about it. I've talked to a few of your other colleagues from that show. Most of them have not been back to Hawaii. Have you been back to Hawaii? Would you go back to Hawaii? What do you think about that?
Well, I love Hawaii and I have been several times with my family and I love it every single time. And I have not been back to Oahu yet. I had just haven't. And I don't know, maybe it'll be bittersweet. It was such a big part of my life. And maybe it'll be something where I'm like, oh, I wish I hadn't gone back because I have all of these memories. Or maybe it'll be extraordinary. And I'll be like, yes, oh, I can go do this and remember this. And this is beautiful. And this hidden beach. And, it's a magical place. So I do love to go back.
That's the cool thing about life too, right? You travel to all these different places. Even for you, like I know growing up, you spent some time in the Dallas area and Texas. What are some memories early on in your life that you still hold on to today?
Oh gosh, I think I'm such a family person. I think I always hold on to memories that have to do with family and the people that I love. The other memories are usually to do with music, singing with my family, hearing something for the first time I tried harmony, first time on stage. Those are usually my childhood memories are of those moments where you feel something new. You're excited, you're scared, you're hopeful, all of that. So it's all usually family for me. Meeting close friends for the first time, discovering things that you have in common with people still to this day just gives me chills where you're like, oh yeah, I do that too. Oh, we're the same. Like it's a little bit of walking together with someone through this alone life, right?
That's really beautifully said. We've talked about a few of the big moments in your career and your life. Are there some other things we haven't mentioned that you're super proud of, or maybe some projects a little bit below the radar that didn't give enough shine as they should?
Oh, what a great question. I mean, I'm excited about Witch Hunt. I believe in it quite a lot. It's a really bitter, beautiful movie, right? Like it is scary, but it's also a little bit heartbreaking and kind of lovely. So I actually really like that. I hope that people give it a good watch. And then I did a movie called When Time Got Louder about a family living with autism that I really love, and I'm hoping that it gets distribution and gets out there, and it's really quite good. So there's always that thing, and that one scared me as well, and that one's just emotionally naked, interesting stuff. But I really quite love that. But most of the things I do, it's like all your children, right? You don't want to pick a favorite.
That's also the beauty of art too, because it can be something like that you're just talking about that has a greater purpose, right? And then there can be the lighter stuff that you did, the Santa Claus movies, and those get watched every year, right? Like you have the whole spectrum.
Yeah, I do. And they affect people in different ways. And you can never, I mean, I've had a lot of people write to me and say I was going through a dark time and, this movie lifted me up. So you really don't know as an artist what it is that's going to affect people or what effect you're going to have on people's lives. And I take that very seriously. When I meet people and talk to them, people share such deep, deep things with me. And I like to think that's because I'm an artist and I've been out there and I've been able to touch their lives in some way. And I take that really seriously.
Well, Elizabeth, you've had a great career and there's plenty more to get into. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for the time, and we'll chat
No,
again
you
down the
were
road, all right?
great. Thank you. Take care of yourself.